Hi everybody, it's me Juliet. I'm here today surrounded by my nail polish collection because I wanted to go over my favorite mani-pedi shades for summer 2013. So I'm definitely a person that likes to, I favor like certain colors for different seasons, and you know, I only wear some colors at certain times of the year. I mean, there are exceptions to that. Like there are days where like I don't care what time of the year it is, I want to wear this shade, but for the most part I tend to like certain colors at different times of the year, and that is especially so for summertime. I just, for whatever reason, I can't get enough of oranges, corals, nudes, bright pinks, and blues. Those seem to be the shades that I wear pretty much all summer long, especially the corals and the oranges. I just have a real love for those, and it's really the only time of the year that I wear them because they look better on me when my skin's a little bit warmer, has a little bit of color in it. When I'm really pale, like as I am now, it tends to not look the best on me. So but I love the colors, and I tend to wear those as, you know, we're in the summer. So anyway, okay, so we're going to start with oranges and corals, and as I said, I love those shades during the summer, and I have a whole collection of just oranges and corals. So I tend to favor like more of the muted oranges and corals on my fingers, and then I like the really hot, like crazy colors on my toes, and that pretty much goes for any color. I don't, you know, sometimes I will wear like kind of out there colors, but I find some colors just look better on your toes, and then like the softer version looks better on your fingers. That's just my personal preference. Okay, so just to show you kind of what I mean, this is a color that has been showing up for a couple of years now. I just love it. This is just a really nice kind of faded tangerine color, and it's actually called Tangerine Dream from Nina Ultra Pro that you can get at Sally Beauty Supply. I love this nail polish, and I love this brand. So this is just a really nice kind of, it looks a little bit darker, but it's just a really nice kind of milky orange shade, so like nice kind of faded orange, which equals tangerine, so I love that. A less expensive version of that is, the label has rubbed off, but this is one of those Wet n Wild Shine, like they're kind of the cheapest line that they have, even though all of the Wet n Wild nail polishes are very inexpensive. But this is called Blazed, and it's very similar to the Tangerine Dream. Very, very, very similar. This one has a little bit more of a pinky tone to it. And here comes the sun now. Okay, so I apologize again. The light is going to be in and out because it's a crazy day out there. And that's what happens when you film in front of a window. Okay, so that's Blazed. Again, another beautiful kind of faded coral color. And these little wild shines from Wet n Wild are fantastic. You may have discounted them because they're very inexpensive. They're like under $2, but they are really, really good. I find the staying power is you know, very comparable to any other brand that I've tried, and the price point's great, and they've got some really nice like on-trend colors. They tend to kind of take them in and out and bring in some new shades as new ones, you know, become trendy. So yeah, it's a really nice one. And this one's called Blazed. And then another one, but it's a different tone. This is another Wet n Wild Shine in Sunny Side Up, and I discovered this last year, and I love it because it's just such a sunny marigold color, and it's so nice on, and it's almost like a neutral. You put it on and it just looks really nice and soft for the summer, soft and pretty. Okay, but as I said, on my toes I can go really crazy. I have Sunset Orange from Rimmel. This has been in my collection, not this exact bottle, but because like the bottles used to be different and the formula was a little bit different, but I've had Sunset Orange in my collection for years and years, and it's just such a great, you know, orangey coral. And then just to show you the comparison, so this is a definite like hot orange color. This is NYC's Spring Street, so you can see the difference, I hope. This is a little bit more muted. This is like a definite full-on very, very orangey shade, which looks great on toes. Very opaque and creamy. And then we get into more of like the corally shades. This is Kuka Mango from Sally Hansen, and this I believe this came out in part of their spring collection from this year, so because this is a new addition to my collection, or it could have been like leftover from last year, but they've got so many shades in this line, and this is a really, really good formula as well. And the price point can be a little bit higher. I find, depending on where you're shopping, it's around the same as an Essie nail polish, but I much prefer this formula. This is a shade that when I'm feeling a little bit more daring, I will wear it on my fingers, but it's one of those ones that looks great on your toes. And then another Sally Hansen one, and this is a definite, I really only wear this on my toes unless I'm on vacation. This is Coral Reef, and it's like a neon, it's like a really bright, you know, Miami Beach 80s kind of like really, really bright pink coral color. And it's gorgeous on the toes. It almost comes across as neon. It's great. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about nudes. Okay, and nudes are kind of subjective as well, because depending on like what color your hands are, the tone that works best on you will be different from person to person. But when I'm talking nudes, I'm kind of meaning like these nice kind of sandy tones that give you like those mannequin hands. I love that term, mannequin fingers. Don't like it on your lips, but for some reason we really like it on our fingernails. So I love these kind of like sandy, like shimmery shades, but I don't like them to be frosty. I like them to be like creamy with a little bit of iridescence in. So those are like my favorite shades. Perfect example of that is this one called Quicksand from Sally Hansen. And this is one of those weird Julia Brain things. I really love this shade and I love this formula, but I hate the bottles that these come in. There's just something about it that turns me off. But it really is one of the Sally Hansen Insta Dry. They really do dry quickly, and everyone that I have in this bottle I love. I don't know, I just don't, aesthetically I don't find the bottle very pleasing. Isn't that weird? But anyway, this is called Quicksand, and it's, you can, I don't know if you can see, there's like a really nice iridescence in there, very nice sheen. The iridescence lie flat on your nails, and so it's not like a glitter or a sparkle, but that kind of mocha shade that runs in the background is, you know, like what I'm going for there. Just really like that. And this has actually got kind of like a pinky tinge to it as well. Then something that's creamier without any kind of iridescence is this Wet n Wild Mega Last in Private Viewing, and I love this formula. I pretty much love all of the Wet n Wild nail polishes. Actually I think they're really, really good for the drugstore. So this one's, as I said, just a nice kind of creamy sandy tone, or looks like a, you know, a latte. Very nice. But then on the other end of the spectrum is this one from NYC called Prospect Park Bloom, and it actually comes across more as a really, really pale pink. This is a nude on me right now because you can see how pale my fingers are. So this acts like my nails look like I don't have anything on them when I wear this, but in a nice way. They don't look bare. They just look really, it's just a continuation of your fingers, and it's really perfect creamy nude for me right now, based on how pale my skin is. As the summer goes on and my hands get darker, this will become, the contrast will become more evident, and it'll become more like a very, very pale pastel-y pink, but it's just such a pretty color. I wanted to show you, and it works as a nice nude for me right now. Blah, blah. Okay, so next up we have pinks. Now, pinks are one of those things like, okay, I wear pinks periodically throughout the year, but the way that I wear them changes. So in the summertime, I go into like bright pinks. At Christmas time, I'm into the hot pinks, like the candy fuchsia colors. And then in the spring, you can tell I like the medium tone pinks and then the light kind of baby pinks. This is a fantastic color. This is Sinful Colors Professional Nail Polish in Fusion Neon. And where did I just see these? They started selling these at Walmart here in Canada, which is awesome because they're $1.99 and they're just really great nail polishes. The colors, they've got fantastic range of colors, and the formula is really good as well. So nice and fun to play with for $1.99, right? But you know, some cheap nail polishes like let you down and you're like, well, I only paid $2 for it. This is one of those ones where you go, I can't believe I only paid $2 for it. So anyway, this is Fuchsia Neon, and as you can tell, it is neon pink. And this might actually make it onto my fingers this year, because when I got this last year, it was like, no, I can only wear that on my toes. But this neon pink has just become like more and more mainstream, and it's just such a fun like pop of color. Yeah, and it looks great on your toes, and it really sets off a tan. But yeah, you have to be a little bit careful with it, because it can look like liquid paper on your fingernails. It's got that kind of milky, like white mod kind of tendencies, but that's fun, especially in the middle of summer when you got a nice tan. There's this Lasting Finish Pro from Rimmel in baby pink. Now, it looks really kind of soft in the bottle, but when you put it on, it's just a really nice bright pink. And yeah, but it's like, instead of doing the neon pink, this is an easier, more conservative way to do that really bright pink. So it's bright without being garish. And then to warm it up even more, and I think this shade would look beautiful on like a medium or like an olive skin tone, this is Timbleberry from Sinful Colors, and it's a nice pink. It almost borders on coral to me. Like, this could go either pink or coral. And obviously it's a kind of a corally pink. And lastly, something that's a big counterbalance to all these bright colors is blue. Not saying that you can't have bright blues, which I love, but you know, it's different. It's like, you got all these hot colors going on, and then the blue just kind of comes in. I find it nice and cool, and just like a little bit of a different twist to wear. Love wearing blue nail polish on my toes in the summertime. One of my favorites, and one that you've heard me talk about many, 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 many times, but I can't, and this is really old, but I can't get rid of it. I just love it. This is No Room for the Blues from OPI, and it's just the perfect blue, because it's a nice bright blue, but it's got that like milkiness to it, so it's not just like full-on blue. It almost comes across faded when you put it on, but it's nice and rich, and the formula is great too. It's just nice and rich and creamy and opaque on your nails, and I just think it's a really nice bright blue, and I think the milkiness just suits so many skin tones. Yeah, it's really good. It's a very flattering shade. It's been around for a long time. Love that, especially on my toes. But because I find it hard to find, another color that I picked up that's very similar to it, this is an NYC shade. These little NYC quick dry nail polishes are really good as well. Another one of those ones that's like $2. Awesome deal. This is Water Street Blue, and it is very, very similar to the No Room for the Blues, but it is a bit darker and less milky, but still a nice bright blue. And then something that's like, I actually wore on my toes pretty much for the entire month of March, which is a nice, again, counterbalance to the hot bright colors. This is Black and Blue from Sally Hansen, and it's just awesome. It's one of those ones that, you know, it's so many different shades. When you're looking at it, it's black, it looks a little brown, it's blue. Really nice kind of grounded color without being black or navy or, you know, too dark. Just a lot of fun. And I mean, could you imagine a prettier color for your toes? This looks like mermaid tail. This is an Orly for Quo shade. Quo is it's like Quo by, no, what is it? Quo by Orly? Yeah, Quo by Orly. Shades are exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada, and this is a beautiful metallic turquoisey shade. It's called Turquoise Madness, and just freaking awesome on your toes. Like, just looks like the beach. Yeah, so there you go. As I said, only I can babble about nail polish for 20 minutes, but I love it so much. So those are my favorite mani pedi shades going into summer 2013. It'll be here before you know it. It's already coming. I'd like those clouds to go away and the sun to come back, but yeah, there you go. So thank you so much. Let me know what your favorite shades are on your toes and on your fingers in the summertime, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.